If you're thinking about moving to Atlanta, stop scrolling just for a second. Atlanta is one of those cities that looks incredible online. It's got great food, big companies, warmer weather, cool neighborhoods with personality, and a lifestyle that on paper looks hard to beat. But living here day to day, that's a different story, different conversation. It's not just where you live, it's how your daily life actually feels once you get here. Some people move here and love it. Others realize pretty quickly that they picked the wrong area, their commute is longer than they expected, or the lifestyle just doesn't match what they thought it might. That's what we're fixing today. I'm going to walk you through what it's really like to move to Atlanta, what most people don't realize until after they arrive, and how to set this up the right way from the very beginning. My name is James Dicke with JR Dicke Home Group at Real Broker. My contact information will be down below. Reach out anytime. I help people move into Atlanta, move it around Atlanta, and figure out where they actually fit once they get here. And almost every conversation starts the same way. Is Atlanta really a good place to live? The answer is yes, but only if you set it up correctly. Atlanta is not one city. It's a collection of neighborhoods, suburbs, and pockets all stitched together by highways and traffic patterns. You'll hear people say inside the perimeter or outside the perimeter, ITP or OTP. And around Atlanta, those aren't just directions on a map. They're not just geography, it's a lifestyle. Because where you land in Atlanta can shape almost everything about your day. How much house you get for the money, how close you are to restaurants, parks, shopping, and even how connected you are or you feel to the city itself. So when people talk about ITP and OTP around here, they're really talking about how they want to live, not just where they want to live. I had a client relocate here from out of state. They told me, we just want to be in Atlanta. We started looking at a few different places, different areas. One looked great online, but when we drove it, it felt too busy. Another had more space, but the commute didn't make sense. And by the end, they landed somewhere completely different. But in the end, it worked because it matched how they actually live. And that is the goal. So a couple of questions like here. Why people move here? Well, one is opportunity. Atlanta has a strong job market, job growth in tech areas, in the healthcare, film, logistics, corporate headquarters. And what makes that powerful is that it's not just one industry driving everything. This isn't a one industry town where everything rises and falls together. Atlanta has multiple engines that drive it. You've got major companies based here. You've got a growing tech presence. You've got one of the busiest airports in the world driving logistics. The film industry continues to bring in projects year after year. So what that does is it gives people options. If one opportunity changes, there are usually others right here in the same city. And that's a big reason people just don't move from Atlanta. They stay. And I see this all the time. People move here for one job, but what keeps them here is the flexibility. If something changes, they don't have to leave the city, and that matters more than people think or realize. Cost of living in Atlanta, it's not cheap anymore. That's probably one of the biggest misconceptions people have coming in. But it's still more approachable than many major cities. Especially when you compare it to places like New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, parts of South Florida. The key is understanding trade-offs. Because in Atlanta, you're almost always balancing something. You might get more house, but give up some convenience. You might be closer to the city, but trade away space or newer construction. And what I tell clients all the time is that you're not just choosing a price point, you're choosing how your daily life is going to feel once you've actually lived in that spot. And I've worked with a buyer recently. We looked at two options. One was further out, bigger home, more space. The other was closer into the city with a smaller home, easier lifestyle. And what they realized was they weren't choosing a house, they were choosing how they wanted to live. And that's the difference. Now we talk about traffic, because we can't do a video about Atlanta and not address it. Probably heard about it already. And to be fair, Atlanta earned that reputation. Here's the part that most people don't understand. It's predictable. It's not random chaos. It's based on direction, time of day, and how your commute lines up with everything else you're doing around you. Patient around your daily routine, you can avoid a lot of the frustration people complain about. If you don't, that's when traffic becomes the thing that you think about every single day. So in Atlanta, your commute becomes part of your lifestyle. So let's talk neighborhoods. Every neighborhood feels different, and that's one of the things that makes Atlanta unique. There's not one Atlanta experience. There are a lot of different versions of it. And what buyers think they want at the beginning usually changes once they actually drive the areas. You start to feel it. You feel what feels right. You feel what doesn't fit. pretty quickly once you're in a car. For example, you might think you want to be right in the middle of everything. So you look at places like Midtown, Virginia Highlands, Old Fourth Ward, Inman Park, downtown. And those areas are great if you want walkability, restaurants, the city energy. But then you might drive through and realize you prefer a little bit more space, a little quieter feel, maybe easier parking. So now you start looking at places a little bit further out: Sandy Springs, Brookhaven, Alpharetta, Roswell, south of the city, Fayetteville. Those are all completely different lifestyles. Still convenient, but a little more breathing room. And that's the shift that happens for a lot of people, because you're not just picking a house. Like I said before, you're picking the environment of how you want to live every day. That photos can't show you. You have to feel it in person. But Atlanta is very livable. And I think that surprises a lot of people, because when you hear big city, you expect constant noise, crowds, and that feeling of always being on the go. It has a different rhythm to it, different beat. You get green spaces, parks, trails, great food, a real sense of community depending on where you land. But if you're closer into the city, the BeltLine has become a big part of your lifestyle. You can walk, bike to restaurants, grab coffee, hit a brewery, or just get outside a little and move a little bit. It's one of those things that really connects different parts of the city. I'll do a video on that specifically at some point. You start to see people love being near it. You can spend the morning on the BeltLine, grab lunch at a local spot, and still be back in a quiet neighborhood by afternoon. Atlanta is a big city that doesn't always feel like one, and that's the reason people end up enjoying it more than they expected. There's a balance here. You can have access to everything without feeling like you're right on top of everything at all the time. And yes, we do need to talk about it. The next question is, should I rent or buy? That's a whole topic to talk about, but right here, I'll let you know it's one of the biggest questions I get from people moving to Atlanta. And the answer is, honestly, it depends. It depends on how long you plan to be here, how confident you are in the area, and how clear you are on actually what you want from your day-to-day life to look like. Because buying right away can be a great move. Start early, you know where you are. If you've done the homework, you've understood the neighborhoods, and you know you're going to be here for a while. But I'll also tell clients this: there's absolutely nothing wrong with renting first. In fact, sometimes it's the smartest move you can make. Think about it. You get to move here, live here, and you get to start to learn things and just figure out distances, neighborhoods. You learn traffic patterns. You learn which areas you enjoy spending time in. You learn what your daily routine looks like in this city, and that usually leads to a much better buying decision later. And again, it's all about understanding. So once you understand the city, you always make a much better long-term decision. Don't choose Atlanta based on hype. Choose it based on how you want to live your life and how it makes you feel. Because when you get that part right, everything else tends to fall into place a lot easier. If you need help navigating that, I'm here. My links will be below. You can reach out to me, ask me questions, and start getting a better feel for what part of Atlanta makes the most sense for you. And if this video helped you at all, do me a quick favor. Like and subscribe. It really helps my channel and helps me continue putting out content like this for people who are trying to figure out their move. And when you're done, check out the next video.